we wind down the opening round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Welcome everybody to NXT.
The following contest is a first round match in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament scheduled for one fall. Making their way to the ring at a combined weight of 400 pounds, the team of Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, DIY!
Hashtag DIY, do it yourself. The mantra of Ciampa and Gargano in action here in the first round.
Hashtag I can't stand these two, Phillips. I get sick to my stomach every time they come out here. Ciampa and Phillips Dana renamed themselves Born Runners-Up.
Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano challenging for the NXT Tag Team titles at TakeOver Brooklyn this past summer, looking to possibly take home the Dusty Rhodes Memorial Cup.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 390 pounds, the team of Ho-Ho Loon and Tian Bing.
Tian Bing and Ho-Ho Loon, this should be an exciting team here, Graves. We know a lot about Ho-Ho Loon from the Cruiserweight Classic, from Tian Bing, the first Chinese superstar ever signed to WWE, part of WWE's trip back to China in June. 6'3", 220 pounds. This is a very impressive superstar.
Yeah, Bing is a physical specimen for sure, but his reputation precedes him. He's got a lot of hype around it. Almost could add to his difficulties if he doesn't live up to it.
That's true.
You mentioned it yourself. We know a lot about Ho-Ho Loon, considered the father of wrestling in China, where he grew up with his brothers Snowball, Zinger, and Cupcake.
Unbelievable. You've been waiting for how long to do that?
Got it in.
Tommaso Ciampa starting things off here against Tian Bing. Ciampa and Gargano here to have righted the ship as a tag team over the last few months, but look at the look in the eye of Bing. Oh! Ran him over. We saw the press conference in Shanghai featuring Triple H, John Cena addressing the WWE Universe in Mandarin, all a part of the fanfare that came along with Tian Bing. How much more difficult does that make it for him getting used to things here at NXT?
Listen, I spoke to some of the coaches in the Performance Center earlier, and they were all unanimously impressed with how quickly Bing has progressed, how quickly he learns and picks things
Now
up.
Loon into the cover. Now Ho-Ho Loon in command here against Tommaso Ciampa, and of course we know the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic will take place live at NXT TakeOver Toronto 3 weeks from Saturday. Last week we learned about some big matchups already going down in Toronto. Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger are going to duke it out. On top of that, a rematch for the NXT title. Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe. Oh, and look at Ciampa. Now Gargano, legal man, into the cover here to put away Loon, and a kick out of two.
Their very presence offends me, but you cannot deny the abilities of as a tag team of Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano.
The fact of the matter is that the NXT tag team title picture, we all know about the top guys who retained their titles against Ciampa and Gargano. It's still up for grabs who could be the next #1 contender.
It doesn't matter who's the next #1 contender because the top guys are the top guys. The Revival are the best tag team in the world, and they'll continue to be the champions as long as they
Loon
want.
on the move. Gargano just stopped him in his tracks, and here comes Loon.
Considering their opponents, I've got to admit, Ho-Ho Loon and Tian Bing are my favorite tag team right now.
You change your favorite every single week.
I meant in the match, Tom.
There's the tag. Back in comes Bing.
I want to see more of Bing. He's been impressive so far.
Bing. A running knee into the corner. Good teamwork here.
Oh, man.
Tian Bing. There's a drop kick there from Loon. Now Bing into the cover to advance here in the tournament, and a kick out. And we can tell you that, speaking of the top guys, the winner of this match will face the Revival in the quarterfinals. I gotta believe Ciampa and Gargano, a little extra motivation in that capacity.
Let me ask you this. How great do you think it will be for Dash and Dawson's career, for the Revival's brand, when they beat the two biggest superstars in China in the next round?
Well, we're gonna see. Well, oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I see what you did. Yep.
I'm really good, Tom.
They're brilliant. Tian Bing competed in WWE Hall of Famer Antonio Inoki's promotion in Japan. Those kicks from a 220-pounder, no less. Oh, wow, right on the ear. Gargano can dish it out just as well, reaching out for the tag. Here comes Ciampa. Tommaso is on a roll. Just clubbed him to the mat. Hold on a second. Loon able to get his way out of that predicament into the corner. Oh, and a spear through the ropes. Gargano, I believe, made the tag. Tommaso, the knee there to Bing. Oh, meet in the middle, why don't you? Cover here by Gargano, and hashtag DIY is moving on.
Here are your winners, DIY.
Phillips, you need to stop with the hashtag DIY. It's like fetch. It's not going to catch on. It's not going to be a thing.
It's the name of their tag team. Let's take a look back here at this first round matchup. Watch this, through the ropes, boom, right to the midsection of Ho Ho
Again,
Lun.
I don't like him, but you got to admit that was pretty teamwork. And here it is. They've won quite a few times with that brutal super kick knee strike combination. Gargano and Ciampa roll on, but guess who they're facing, Tom? Guess what we're going to have in the second round? A little repeat of history. If the top guys are going to take down hashtag DIY, why don't you come up with a hashtag for that, Tom?
I think Ciampa and Gargano are going to have something to prove here in the quarterfinals when they face the Revival.
Well, they're going to have something to prove that they're not quite as good as the Revival. They never have been, nor will they ever be.
Well, we are just getting started here tonight on NXT. Lots of great action here and still more first-round action in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Tom Phillips here along with Monday Night Raw's Corey Graves. Now, last week, we talked about what happened to Hideo Itami, a very unfortunate injury. The question is, Kota Ibushi was left without a partner, so who would he find?
TJ, Kota, you two had quite the memorable match at the Cruiserweight Classic. You're teaming up together to compete in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. What brought you two together?
Respect. You know, when Hideo Itami went down, I leapt at the chance to tag with Kota Ibushi. And here's why. Kota Ibushi's elite. He's world class. If the squared circle was a high school cafeteria, the cool kids table would be Kota Ibushi 5 times. But most importantly, I know what it's like to stand across the ring from Kota Ibushi. He brings out the best in me. And I think when we stand side by side, we're going to bring out the best in each other. So, I mean, what's your overall rating? Like 90, 95?
99.
Oh, come on, man. Let's go.
Kota Ibushi chose well in his last-minute replacement of Hideo Itami, joining forces with WWE Cruiserweight Champion T.J. Perkins. And in our main event later tonight, Ibushi and Perkins will look to advance in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic against another tandem of CWC standouts, Lince Dorado and Mustafa Ali.
Well, after weeks of chaos at the hands of Samoa Joe, General Manager Mr. William Regal has made it official. At NXT TakeOver Toronto, Shinsuke Nakamura will defend the NXT Championship against an enraged Samoa Joe. With tensions at an all-time high between these two, the question on everyone's mind, which superstar will lead the Great White North as champion in the most anticipated rematch in NXT history?
Tom, there is one guy who I can guarantee isn't questioning who will leave Toronto as NXT champion. That is Samoa Joe himself. And coming up next, the supremely confident Samoan submission machine will address the NXT universe. Don't go anywhere. NXT will be right back.
The hottest hottest brand in sports entertainment.
We are going to the next level.
Welcome to NXT.
For the first time ever, it's NXT Live. Be a part of the worldwide phenomenon. Feel the heart-pounding excitement with your favorite NXT superstars.
Long live the King of Strong Style,
The Empress of Tomorrow.
Samoa Joe.
The hottest brand in sports entertainment, NXT Live, is coming to Japan on the following date. Talent subject to change.
Who knew you'd be hated for being who you are? And be a big target for all the insecure.
Welcome back to NXT. We want to send a special shout out to Beartooth for their song Hated, one of the official themes of NXT TakeOver Toronto. It's off the album Aggressive, available now on iTunes and Spotify.
Samoa Joe, last week it looked like you were about to attack Shinsuke Nakamura, but then maybe thought the better of it. Can you take us through your thought process of what went down?
You know, it's interesting how you phrase your question. You think I was about to go out there and attack Shinsuke Nakamura. That is not what I was doing at all. All I was doing is I was walking out there and testing the perimeter, seeing if the things that I've done have had an effect, and they've had a profound effect. Since I've been here, all I've ever sought to do was to even the odds. Shinsuke dislocated my jaw, I separated his shoulder. He chose to play mind games with me, and I've launched a full campaign of psychological warfare. What you see out there is not a confident man, not a man who swaggers around like he used to. What you see out there is a man who looks over his back and knows that at any point in time, I can walk out there and put him out for a very, very long time. What you see is a scared champion, scared of the inevitable, of what is coming for him. The next NXT champion, Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe supremely focused on Shinsuke Nakamura heading towards TakeOver.
The following contest is a women's division match scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Aaliyah.
Aaliyah back in action here inside the NXT arena. And you gotta believe that Aaliyah taking a look forward to NXT TakeOver Toronto 3 weeks from Saturday. Aaliyah trying to work her way onto the card. Dynamite drop-in, Graves, and we do know that two hometown boys, Ty Dillinger and Bobby Roode, will be competing that night. Gotta believe that Aaliyah wants to be a part of NXT TakeOver. We'll see if she can get any closer here tonight.
Speaking of Bobby Roode, I just spoke to one of my sources. The Toronto Maple Leafs actually proposed a trade. They want to trade Austin Matthews to NXT for Bobby Roode. That's how glorious he is. NHL franchises want him, Tom. Take it to the next level. 4 goals in his debut, Tom, and they want Bobby.
And her opponent, accompanied by Peyton Royce from Sydney, Australia, Billy Kay.
So if that means Bobby Roode would leave because it's a trade, then super. Billy Kay ready for action here, one-on-one with Aaliyah. And we did see last week, Graves, the altercation. Liv Morgan in the middle of an interview backstage. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce dragged her out onto this stage, laid a beating into her we haven't seen before from these two women.
Billy Kay and Peyton Royce wanted to make a statement. They wanted to open the eyes of the NXT universe and did just that at the expense of your girl, Liv Morgan.
The fact of the matter is Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, they saw an opportunity. They've been picking on Liv Morgan and bullying her for weeks just because Liv Morgan took a shot at the NXT Women's Champion.
Survival of the fittest, Phillips. If you can't hang, it's too bad.
Billy Kay and Peyton Royce have proved to be a formidable friendship, a formidable alliance, known each other for a long time, back to their days in Australia, and now it is paying dividends here in NXT.
The fact that you were somehow offended by Billy Kay and Peyton Royce's action says a lot about you, Phillips. You're probably one of those guys that thinks everyone should get a trophy for playing, right?
No, actually, I don't believe that. Here we go, Billy Kay right after Aaliyah.
Been very impressed with Billy Kay and Peyton Royce as of late.
Two beautiful women, mesmerizing with their entrance. They come down here, the entire pace of the building slows down, but then the bell rings, and these two are brutal.
Jawbreaker by Aaliyah creates a little early separation here into the top rope, and Billie Kay very early. Oh, has Aaliyah in a bad spot. Now thinking about the cover, hook to the leg here, and Aaliyah out at 1. And besides Peyton Royce, think about where Billie Kay's mind is at. This is a superstar who competed in Brooklyn this past summer, the biggest stage that NXT has ever performed on. And now she is looking to move towards NXT TakeOver 3 weeks from Saturday. Look at Aaliyah right into the jaw. Oh!
It's a low blockbuster sort of maneuver from Aaliyah.
Now right back on top of things here into the action. Oh! And a running axe kick, I think. Billie Kay still upright. Oh, and Aaliyah with the step up enziguri.
But Billie Kay still not going down.
Oh!
Wicked elbow strike right on the chin of Aaliyah.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What's Liv Morgan doing here?
Liv Morgan, here is the receipt from last week to Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. Hold on a second. Aaliyah steals one for Billie.
Here's your winner, Aaliyah!
Very classy, typical New Jersey, Phillips. Liv Morgan shows up and a
and
victory
Liv
gets
is not
stolen.
done. Liv is not done. Going after Billie Kay as well. And now Peyton Royce. It's 2-on-1 basically in this situation.
Why is it 2-on-1? Where's Aaliyah? Where's Aaliyah to help Liv
It's
Morgan?
2-on-1.
Now we go.
Aaliyah now back into this fight. Look at these 4 women tearing into each other. It got very personal between Liv Morgan, Billie, and Peyton over the last few weeks. Now Aaliyah's inserted herself into this situation. Oh! Oh man, face first off the knee.
You think Liv Morgan learned her lesson, Tom?
One thing we know about Liv Morgan is that she never backs down. She saw an opportunity here tonight on NXT to try and get some payback on Peyton and Billie Kay. But Billie and Peyton turning things around in a big way.
And Tom, when it comes to turning things around here at NXT, no one has made it their mission to do so more than Bobby Roode. And at TakeOver, Canada's most glorious export looks to take NXT to the next level at the expense of his fellow countryman, Tye Dillinger. After being thrown to the wolves by his former tag team partner during the Dusty Classic, Dillinger is out for vengeance at TakeOver. But coming up next, the Perfect 10 will be in action right here at Full Sail and is looking to send a strong message to Bobby Roode before their confrontation in Toronto.
For Angelica Frey, getting diagnosed with breast cancer was never part of the plan. As a mother of 3, it was always important to Angelica to be strong for her boys. Breast cancer didn't change that. If anything, it made her even stronger. While still undergoing chemo, she joined a group of breast cancer survivors who focus on living life to the fullest.
Heart and soul, harder, faster, deeper, woo!
A sisterhood that supported each other through the day-and-day challenges of breast cancer. She also rallies city leaders to show their commitment to the cause. She became and still is an advocate for younger women affected by breast cancer, being there for people in need and helping others whenever she can. Angelica is more than pink. She's a boss.
If we all do something small, together we achieve something big.
Act, donate, get involved. Go to Komen.org/morethanpink.
Throughout the month of October, WWE goes pink because for the 5th consecutive year, WWE has partnered with the Susan G. Komen Foundation to encourage fans to take action in the fight against breast cancer. Komen's More Than Pink movement celebrates the heroes like WWE superstar John Cena, who have made a significant impact in the fight against breast cancer. Our big, bold goal is to reduce the nation's current 40,000 deaths by 50% over the next 10 years. Please go to Komen.org/WWE to find out how you can join the fight.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Honolulu, Hawaii, weighing 250 pounds, Noah Putchis.
We've seen Noah before here on NXT, and Graves, this guy has a reputation as a bit of a creep around the WWE Performance Center. He kind of
Philip,
rubs people the wrong
who
way.
in the world are you to call anybody a creep? You're like Saxton level creep.
Oh, don't go there. Are you kidding me?
Like
You
one
take that
and-
back.
one and
You
one
take
A.
that back. That is low.
Let's talk about Noah. The guy's got all the tools to be a star. Last time we saw him, he came up a little short, so he got back to the basics, back to the Performance Center, training hard, getting better. Now he's got a massive challenge in front of him.
And his opponent from Niagara Falls, Canada, weighing 225 pounds, he is the perfect 10, Ty Dillinger.
And you said massive challenge. That is what Ty Dillinger laid down to Bobby Roode just recently, and those two are set to square off at NXT TakeOver Toronto. And that is a big matchup. Ty Dillinger wanting some payback for what happened with Bobby and Sanity in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team
I
Classic.
don't understand what Ty Dillinger is so upset about. Sanity came to the ring. Bobby Roode took a hike because Roode knows he has a mission here in NXT to make NXT propel to the next level.
Bobby Roode told Ty Dillinger, and by the way, Bobby Roode had a little confused last week. It wasn't Ty Dillinger who begged Bobby Roode to be partners. It was Bobby Roode who came to Ty Dillinger, told him, yes, that he could make him glorious, that they would be the greatest team ever. But Bobby lied. Bobby Roode said he came here to NXT to beat the winner of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and he abandoned it at the first sign of trouble.
You better throw the word alleged in there, Tom. Allegedly he lied. Bobby Roode has attorneys who'll come after you in a heartbeat.
You would think that he would maybe get into the fight and pursue the Memorial Cup if that really meant that much to him.
You and your negativity, it's so typical. No wonder people can't relate to Bobby Roode because they think like you.
I'm Ty Dillinger.
You're one of those people that wants to bring change about by using hashtags and no actual work. Bobby Roode does the work.
Oh, look at this, standing on the hand of Noah. And Ty Dillinger looking very, very focused here in this match, and a straight right by Noah.
Quick right by Noah, change the complexion of the match in a second.
Now, Bobby
I like this. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Noah and his aggression.
And Noah believes he's the perfect 10, and Ty Dillinger can have a little bit of an argument with that. As much as Bobby Roode doesn't believe there's a beef, Ty Dillinger has a major beef with Bobby Roode heading to Toronto.
How do you know Noah's not a perfect 10, Tom? This is media bias. Just because you decide to tell everyone in the universe that Ty Dillinger's a perfect 10, people start to believe it. Doesn't mean it's true.
And the NXT universe seems to agree with the perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. Exposing the knee, and Ty is thinking about the tiebreaker right to the back of the neck. And that is it. Ty Dillinger off business.
Here is your winner, Ty Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger definitely looks focused. He knows his mind is on Toronto and TakeOver and Bobby Roode, but I can guarantee you Bobby Roode is just as ready as Ty Dillinger.
Ty Dillinger looking very, very good here in this matchup against Noah Potchis. Watch this. Boom! Right to the back of the neck, the tiebreaker. And Ty Dillinger very, very focused here tonight.
Ty, congratulations on your big win. We are 4 weeks away from NXT TakeOver in Toronto, and your opportunity...
My opportunity is at Bobby Roode. He calls himself glorious, but the only glorious thing he's done lately is run. Bobby, at TakeOver Toronto...
Oh my God! Bobby Roode!
Are you surprised, Tom?
A sneak attack from Bobby Roode. I can't say I'm surprised. Now going after Ty Dillinger.
Bobby Roode simply out here defending his good name as Ty Dillinger attempts to smear it. Dillinger may not make it to Toronto.
No. Don't do this. Don't do this on the ramp. Oh, Dillinger face first.
Bobby Roode with a massive implant DDT on Ty Dillinger.
You want me? You want me? You got me. You got me.
Phillips, I gotta say, as far as beatdowns go, that one was glorious.
Well, turning our attention here for a moment, with just over 3 weeks to go until NXT TakeOver Toronto, the reigning and defending NXT Women's Champion has been running roughshod over the entire women's division, leaving many to wonder who can step up to the imposing challenge of Asuka. Still undefeated after over a year of competition, the Empress of Tomorrow will be in action when we return next on NXT.
It will be a night forever etched in history. Welcome to WrestleMania.
We want to send a huge thank you to Parkway Drive for their song Devil's Calling off their deluxe edition album Ire. Devil's Calling is one of the official themes of NXT TakeOver Toronto, and it's available now on iTunes and Spotify.
Nick, Shane, you two will face Austin Aries and Roderick Strong in the quarterfinals of the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic. Now, how have you two prepared to compete against a great team like them?
See, we prepared like any other match because Roderick Strong and Austin Aries, they were a great team back then. But right now, Shane and me, we're a great team. See, we've been teaming for a while now.
Long time.
We've been everywhere. We've been around the world. We've won titles and we've won tournaments. But right now, this is the most important thing of all of them.
You see, Daja, the thing is, it's more than about being a team. It's more than being a cohesive unit. It's more than being family. See, families don't get to choose each other, but me and Miller here, we chose to team. We think with one mind. We fight with one fist. We know what each other is gonna do before we even do it. Trust fall.
Really, man?
Proved my point.
See, Shane says a lot of strange things, but he brings up one really important point. See, we are a team. We are the team, and we are the team to win this Dusty Rhodes Classic because we are the mighty, and the mighty
don't kneel.
Nailed it.
I cannot wait to see TM61 against Austin Aries and Roderick Strong in the second round of the Dusty Classic.
The following contest is a women's division match scheduled for one fall. Already in the ring from Queens, New York, Thea Trinidad.
Trinidad looking to make an impression here tonight. She's got herself a big challenge.
That was the understatement of the year.
And her opponent from Osaka, Japan, she is the NXT Women's Champion, Asuka.
It is around this time last year that Asuka debuted here in NXT. That is right, 1 year unbeaten.
You just said it. No one's beaten her for a year. I think we can go another 10 before someone beats her.
Question on everyone's mind, who can beat Asuka?
No one. Gotta give respect to Thea Trinidad for even stepping in the ring with the NXT Women's Champion.
Now Asuka off the rope, starting to pick things up here. Oh, the hip attack takes down Trinidad. This is what the women's division has had to deal with for a year, is this nastiness of Asuka.
It's just like every time we see Asuka, understandably so, she becomes more and more confident. It's gotten to the point where she's almost toying with opponents at times. How dominant Asuka has been.
She wants a fight. She wants to be challenged here in this match. Oh.
Trinidad able to get the boots up in just enough time.
Oh, hold on a second. Got a hold of the right leg there. And this is where Asuka could be so dangerous. Rolls right into the ankle lock here, the submission. Trinidad trying to reach out for the ropes. So far away, this could be really bad.
Oh no, bad to worse.
Oh!
Asuka rolled through the German. The Fujiwara armbar.
Armbar here on Trinidad. Trinidad in a ton of pain and taps out to the NXT Women's Champion.
Here is your winner and the NXT Women's Champion, Asuka.
Another dominant performance by Asuka. I have a feeling we're going to be set. Oh.
Asuka, congratulations on your victory and your continued dominance over the NXT Women's Division. I've scoured the world for your next competitor, and I've found that very opponent. At NXT TakeOver Toronto, you will be facing this lady.
You know, it's been a long time since I stepped foot in a WWE ring, and now I'm back. You know, Asuka, they say that you've beaten everybody. Well, I say you haven't beaten me. And until you beat me, you've beaten nobody. Because you see, I have faced and defeated some of the greatest women's champions of all time. The very same women who laid the foundation that you and the rest of the women's revolution stand on. So at TakeOver, I'm coming. And I'm coming for that NXT Women's Championship. In fact, Mr. Regal, you might want to get the UN on the phone because it's about to be an international incident, honey. I'll see you in Toronto.
What an announcement by Mr. Regal, Mickie James.
One of the greatest female competitors of all time, Mickie James, but the same can be said for Asuka.
Asuka looked like she was salivating at the opportunity. Asuka has been starving for competition for a year. She defends the NXT Women's title against Mickie James in Toronto.
This is our house. This is our house of pain. Nobody enters and leaves our house.
Mr. Ellering, the Authors of Pain had a dominating first-round win in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Are you pleased with the progress this team has made so far?
You know, when I came to NXT, I had a vision. And now the picture is clear. The puzzle is complete. It is the Authors of Pain. I have a plan, I have a strategy, and they are going to execute my strategy. Now, Mr. Jose and Mr. Swan, they have a fine future ahead of them in NXT, but they will not advance in the Dusty Rhodes Classic at the expense of the Authors of Pain. Tell them, Macom.
Sadai te koi ni makavla kasarda. Taseran rozar. No kokosh. Te muna me fitu. Preineva.
Let's go.
Wow, the Authors of Pain are ready for anyone on their path forward in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And speaking of the Dusty Classic, CWC standouts Lince Dorado and Mustafa Ali take on the newly formed team of Kota Ibushi and WWE Cruiserweight Champion TJ Perkins. We wrap up first round action when NXT returns next.
The hottest brand in sports entertainment. If you're not excited right now, you better check your pulse.
NXT Live is heading to the land down under. Be a part of the worldwide phenomenon. Witness the action as the next generation of superstars leaves you breathless. The hottest brand in sports entertainment, NXT Live, is coming to Australia this December. Tickets available. Talent subject to change.
Welcome back to NXT. And next week we kick off second round action in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. The Authors of Pain will not rest until they're crowned the winners of the Dusty Cup. But standing in their way are two of the most beloved and charismatic superstars we've ever seen. No Way Jose and Rich Swann.
And the unpredictable Sanity. Alexander Wolf and Sawyer Fulton have earned their way into the second round of the Dusty Classic and will battle the winners of our main event here tonight. Will any team have an answer for the Chaotic Sanity? We'll find out next week as the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic continues.
The following contest is the first round match in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Tournament, scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring at a combined weight of 350 pounds, the team of Mustafa Ali and Lince Dorado.
We know Mustafa Ali from the Cruiserweight Classic this past summer, but Lince Dorado has certainly made an impression on Monday Night Raw.
Taking the Cruiserweight division by storm as Lince, we've seen him in tag team action alongside the likes of Sin Cara. We know what he can do in tag action. Is Mustafa Ali the partner that Lindsay needs?
I'm curious to see how this plays out.
Oh.
And their opponents from Koichi Prefecture, Japan, weighing 160 pounds, Kota Ibushi.
Kota Ibushi in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. What kind of adjustment is he going to have to make here? Was expecting to tag with Hideo Itami, but had to find a new partner.
You have to imagine Hideo and Kota were training together, formulating some sort of game plan. Well, that's all out the window now.
This is a pretty good partner to have. Great choice by Kota Ibushi.
And his partner from Los Angeles, California, weighing 168 pounds, he is the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, TJ Perkins.
Boy, TJ Perkins stepping up and offering the tag with Kota Ibushi. However, TJ has got a big matchup coming up this Sunday at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, a Raw exclusive pay-per-view in Boston, live here on the WWE Network. He defends his Cruiserweight Championship against Brian Kendrick, but he has to focus on this matchup first.
It's got to be next to impossible to focus when you see somebody like Brian Kendrick deep inside the mind.
Little home turf advantage here for TJ as he won the Cruiserweight Classic in this very building here at Full Sail University and became the new WWE Cruiserweight Champion. Gotta be some good vibes going out to him and Kota Ibushi. Up TJ, whoop, right into Lince Dorado. Both these superstars back and forth, so fast, so agile, and so athletic. Into the cover here, and a kick out. Oh, another cover there from Lince.
The technique and athleticism of both these superstars is absolutely awe-inspiring.
And the variety of the different teams that we've seen here in this tournament, Graves, have been really interesting. TM61, Aries and Roderick Strong, Sanity, the Authors of Pain, cover.
But what's the one recurring theme, Tom? Most of the teams that have been victorious to this point are tag teams. They have a long-standing chemistry, whether it be a friendship or a full-time tag team.
And a sign of some sportsmanship and respect between Lince Dorado and TJ Perkins. In comes Mustafa Ali, and there's the tag, the Golden Star Kota Ibushi. Some of the matches that Kota Ibushi had in the Cruiserweight Classic, they were instant classics, no pun intended. They were amazing.
Kota Ibushi, one of the hardest strikers in all of sports entertainment.
Cover here, cover, and a kick out by Ali. Got the shoulder up there just in time, and once again, gets the right shoulder up this time. Ibushi trying to out-muscle him and into a bridge.
Great power display by Mustafa Ali.
Oh. Oh, and Ali using the top rope. And Ibushi went for one of those dangerous kicks, and oh, there's a drop kick from Mustafa Ali.
Oh, man.
Newly formed team of Kota Ibushi and TJ Perkins in the driver's seat right now here in the first round.
Can't wait till we ain't broke and the phone keeps ringing but we ain't home. I can't wait till we get there and we're putting something good up in the air. I can't wait to get out of this place. I can't wait till they know my face and I can say what I wanna say when I'm bigger than the Empire State.
back here on NXT, the conclusion of the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And there's the suplex by the WWE Cruiserweight Champion, T.J. Perkins, over to Mustafa Ali. Now into the cover to close out this match and advance. So close. And you see Kota Ibushi in the far corner. It was T.J. Perkins offering to tag with Kota.
TJ go for the knee bar. He's got it locked.
Right into the knee bar on the left knee here of Mustafa Ali. Very close here, however, to the bottom rope, and he reaches out just in time. We know how dangerous the knee bar can be. That's exactly what helped T.J. Perkins win the Cruiserweight Classic, but Ali creates a little bit of space, makes the tag to Lince Dorado.
Nothing pretty about that straight right from Mustafa. Wow.
Through the ropes. Oh, and Lince on the top rope, right into the Cruiserweight Champion. Now Dorado sends Perkins back into the ring, going up to the top rope here, trying to set up TJ. Cross body out of the air, into the cover, and a kick out by Perkins. We mentioned it before the break. T.J. Perkins has to be careful here in this match. This Sunday, a Hell in a Cell. He defends the WWE Cruiserweight Championship against Brian Kendrick. T.J. can't afford to sustain a lot of damage.
No, you're absolutely correct, Tom. TJP, you know he wants to compete. Trying to listen to what Mustafa was saying there. TJP wants to compete at the highest level at all times, but this could backfire.
Offering to team with Kota Ibushi after Hideo Itami went down with an injury, and now Mustafa Ali in control here against T.J. Perkins. Mustafa Ali and Lince Dorado have looked good so far here in this match. And down goes Mustafa Ali, and T.J. Perkins trying to crawl to make a tag here to Kota Ibushi, and Ali is going to prevent that here in the corner as TJ is reaching out and dragged back to the center of the ring. Oh! Oh, and Ali off the neck breaker, so effortless into the cover here, and TJ still alive.
Come on, TJ, it's not all about you. Oh, Cinderella story, huh?
And Graves, what already an exciting night it's been here on NXT. Earlier on, we heard the announcement from Mr. William Regal. Mickie James returning to face NXT Women's Champion Asuka for the title at NXT TakeOver Toronto. And of course, the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic will take place at that event 3 weeks from Saturday.
Toronto is going to be off the charts.
And face first into the mat by Mustafa Ali. Now T.J. Perkins has a chance. Kota Ibushi is ready in the corner. Lince Dorado looking to tag into this match. There's the tag, and T.J. Perkins makes it to Ibushi.
Oh man.
Oh, God. Oh, right to the midsection of Dorado, doubles him over. Off the rope. Oh, the running knee there. Kota Ibushi so dangerous in this kind of situation. Thinking about the Golden Star powerbomb.
Wow, what an open-handed, disrespectful slap.
Ah! Is that a double Pele?
There would be a Pele for two different men, so yes, Tom.
Lince Dorado trying to gather himself, connects with that super kick. Oh, and caught the power slam. And Ibushi not going for the pinfall, instead looking to inflict more damage. T.J. Perkins, the legal man, frog splash. T.J. Perkins nearly had it.
Speaks to the will of Lince Dorado. Be able to survive that, still be moving.
Oh, Mustafa Ali outside the ring. Perkins and Ibushi in the perfect position here. Ibushi. Lindsay Dorado. Oh, caught up in the top turnbuckle here. TJ Perkins looking to capitalize into the second rope.
TJP, wrecking ball drop kick.
Oh, hold on a second. Look at a transition into the knee bar, and Lindsay Dorado nearly got one.
We've seen TJ use that transition several times. Lindsay obviously had it well scouted.
Oh, hold on a second. Now Dorado into another cover. Hold of the leg, and Kota Ibushi broke up the cover. Tag made. Mustafa Ali is now legal. Dives back into the fray. Oh! That was stiff. Oh, hold on
Beautiful
a second.
roll through. Perkins has it hooked. The knee bar is in. Ali has no choice but to tap out.
Perkins and Ibushi advance.
Here are your winners by submission, Kota Ibushi and TJ Perkins.
For a last-minute tag team pairing for TJ Perkins stepping up into Itami's spot. That was a very impressive showing by these two superstars.
These two meshed very quickly as a tag team. Take a look back here in this first round matchup, the end of the first round here of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Went for the knee bar very early on here in this matchup. Mustafa Ali, however, was close enough to break up the submission.
Yeah, Ali survives the first attempt at the knee bar. Talk about surviving. How was Lindsay able to survive this? Beautiful moonsault followed by a frog splash by the Cruiserweight champ.
And then watch Mustafa Ali break up the pinfall right there. And this was down the stretch. Kota Ibushi would put it all on the line for this tag team tournament. Wiping out Mustafa Ali, and this is what TJ does best.
Was all the time that TJ Perkins needed to adapt, lock in the knee bar, and emerge victorious.
Kota Ibushi and TJ Perkins moving on to the quarterfinals. They face Sanity.
Very impressive showing by Perkins and Ibushi, but can they prepare? Can anybody prepare for Sanity in the next round? I can't wait to see how this one works out.
A big matchup for TJ Perkins coming up this Sunday at Hell in a Cell. But for Kota and TJ, it's up and up in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.